Welcome to the Ancient Way. I'm James.
I'm Marlia.
And I'm Alan.
We have a special guest today.
Oh, yeah.
We're so excited about this one. Alan, welcome to the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, appreciate it. Definitely an
yeah.
honor to be here.
It's an honor to have you here.
It is. I'm really excited to get into this because I feel that a lot of the things that you have are extremely profound.
Mm-hmm. Our topic today is going to be centered around creativity, and the part of the reason we invited Alan on is because he's such a vessel of creative flow, music, and then even whenever like I invite you to go shoot videos with me or hang out or anything like that, you reinforce the creativity in me, and I feel extremely safe. Like I have backup, for some reason it just feels like you reinforce it.
That's sweet.
And I feel safe to create whatever I'm doing, however silly it is.
You are definitely a support system for people to try things, like go out on the branch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool, the things that you provide. And, so for those of you that don't know, Alan is the lead guitarist for the worship team at Tyler House of Faith. And we believe, I'm going to kind of go on the church rant for half a second, but we believe, especially when it comes to worship, is that everything is just like connecting to the Lord and letting the things that are within you just flow out.
Mm-hmm.
And Alan really leads that. He leads in the spontaneous moments of when the Lord really brings in the wave, and it's profound.
Yeah.
And you'll actually get to hear some of that later.
Oh yeah.
But okay, Alan, let's get into some questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, shoot me.
Are you nervous? I'm just kidding.
I feel pretty good. Had some of this Lion's Mane tea. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm drinking.
I'll tell you what.
That's the one you gave me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Lion's Mane? Yeah.
Hey, if y'all haven't had Lion's Mane tea, ooh, that was loud. You should try it, though.
Okay, Alan, we ask this to all of our guests. Do you believe in life on other planets? If so, please expound.
100%.
Amazing.
Have you ever heard, do you know planets have a specific sound? Like each planet?
Are you kidding?
Like if you YouTube sound of Mars, sound of Earth or whatever, I'm sure that has the entire clip of each planet. They each have their own specific
Well, that makes sense.
song
That's dope.
to say.
But it totally makes sense because the Earth actually has a frequency.
Yeah,
Like it vibrates.
They have like a specific frequency
They
reader,
all do.
whatever that can detect the sound or whatever you want to call it
Huh.
Wow.
of each planet. It's pretty
Interesting.
Some of them are like really eerie
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just like
Like Venus or
dark.
Saturn.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or sad.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then there's some that are like the sun or even Earth, just so bright and beautiful.
I'm pretty sure that the Earth, I might screw this up. It's one of the two. It's either the Earth is at 528 hertz, like that's the vibration, or 432. It's one of the two of those. But it's almost like the middle C, like where it like truly resonates.
Yeah.
I do know that our bodies vibrate with the Earth's frequency. Not to get a little weird, but which I think is beautiful. Like us coming from the Earth, like the Lord created us out of the dust of the earth, so our body vibrates at that frequency.
Well, even the Bible says all of creation is groaning, like awaiting for the sons of God or sons of man to be revealed?
Sons of God to be revealed.
So it's like our frequency, it probably craves that what our frequency is supposed to be put off. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that made me think of.
Do you think that life on other planets are singing different songs than we are? Or do you think they can join in with our song?
That's a good question. I like the second choice.
They join in with our songs.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they each have their own song, but
yeah.
I mean, if they're for the Lord, then
that's true.
Huh.
But
what if they jump in from other dimensions into our earth to grab a song that we've already sang?
Yeah.
And they take it.
Your answer to the question is unique from all of our others because what you said, it's almost like the planets themselves. There's life within each planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all alive in some way.
Versus like intellectual beings.
There's literally life in other planets.
Yeah.
And I have not thought about it that way.
I haven't either. That's brilliant. Which goes along with just your full person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The way you can connect
Yeah.
to creation and the way you connect to sound. And
Yeah, you've just upped the bar on this question.
no doubt. No doubt. Nobody's actually going to match it, I don't think.
No.
Just YouTube it and see for yourself. Because YouTube's always
will.
right.
I
YouTube
will.
is always right.
Yeah, on my way home, I will be listening to planets.
I know,
sure.
that is fascinating. I'm really curious what the sound Saturn makes.
I am too. Yeah. The fact their names and the fact that all these planets are named after gods or gods
Yeah.
are named after the planets is interesting.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely fascinating.
Have you ever heard whale sounds?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I just thought of that. I don't know why. I used to play it on the intercom at my old job.
Because you were bored or because you liked it?
Both. And because it sounds kind of like a public restroom, some of the noises they make. But it's unique. I was like, I didn't know it sounded like that.
Yeah, and then like their like offsprings or even other whales can like hear them from like hundreds of miles away.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I'm sorry, guys. That one got me,
Well,
man.
it's true. It's true.
I was just imagining public bathrooms and that got me.
Yeah, that is a little strange.
I was just thinking like a toilet flushing and you can hear it around the world. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
It's the echo.
Then you just hear like a beluga whale.
Yeah, it's the echo. Well,
when you have an 18-month-old, 19-month-old, all you really think about is poop in the bathroom and all that. So
yeah, there's something to it.
I guess I'll find that out soon.
Soon enough.
soon enough, Alan, your world is about to change.
Mhm.
You're gonna find another frequency.
Yeah. You are going to be such a good dad, though.
Mm-hmm. You really will.
You are. I don't remember if I had a dream or a vision of you at one point in time, but you were just like this father figure on a porch of a house, and you had like a sweater on with like a tie and collar on, and you just looked so fatherly and I mean, just like a leader. I don't know. You just had this aura to you that I was like, wow, he's like very responsible, and he deserves it, and he's like trustworthy. I don't know. That was a while back. I don't remember when, but
yeah,
you know, yeah.
I'm definitely excited. I think I'm more excited than anything, to be honest. Like Hannah feels like it hasn't hit me yet.
Mhm.
Maybe that's true. I don't know. But the more I think about it, and just even like the dreams that I feel like the Lord's giving me about our future son, like excites me. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like, I guess you can call him a creature in a way.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Like being formed in the womb, about to like come out in like
She's due what, like in 4 weeks?
March 11th.
Yeah. Oh, literally like 30 days.
Mhm. Oh, that's quick.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I guess I can share one dream that I had
Yeah, come on.
which kind of confirmed, because we've been having the difficult time on choosing a name. Like I would say one, she wouldn't like it. She would say one, I wouldn't like it. And it's just like we could never find one. But we like the name Cyrus. But what we feel like what helped confirm it, she had some dreams. I'm not gonna say them because I'll butcher them. But one of the dreams I had was that I felt like I saw my, son to be. Like I actually saw him as a child, and he had curly hair like me. He was a little bit darker. I mean, I don't know. We'll find out. So if you're listening to this podcast and you see him and you're like, he called it,
For real.
we'll find out.
We'll find out in a little bit.
And,
Oh, yeah.
But, I saw him with like a purple robe on him, and he was sitting on a throne with a crown, which if you don't know, Cyrus is actually in the Bible. And he was a king and like actually, I guess, basically destroyed Babylon and like restored it. And like even brought like some of the, I believe it's like some of the jars of clay pots that they use to store water.
Wow.
And brought them back to Israel. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not
That's
very
dope.
good at remembering scripture.
That is dope.
That is.
And so after having that dream, and I told Hannah, I was like, I had this dream. She's like, yeah, I think we're going to name him Cyrus.
Go with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
We're pretty much stuck on it unless he pops out and it's like, dude, this looks like a Billy.
Yeah.
Let's name him Billy.
Billy Martinez.
No.
Okay, so are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I just Googled King Cyrus of the Bible. So his name was Cyrus the Great. And according to Wikipedia, this is just what Wicca says about him.
Yeah.
He was the king who was the monarch who ended the Babylonian captivity.
Yeah.
In the first year of his reign, he was prompted by God to decree that the temple in Jerusalem should be rebuilt and that such Jews as cared to might return to their land for their purpose.
Well,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like just even his prophetic life of pulling people back into their purpose.
Yeah.
Well, I vote Cyrus.
Yeah.
That is so dope.
Yeah, it is.
I love a good name.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it has such a meaning behind it like that, or such confirmation. Something behind
and I
it.
think
It's so
that was
cool.
the big thing for us. It's like we just didn't want to toss a name.
Yeah.
And it like have no significance for us.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because it's the thing that the kid, it's literally
They're going to have it.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I didn't want to be like super hardcore, like, he's going to be this way. This is what I want him to be. You know, I didn't want any of that either.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's what, like, Bexley means God's city. And which I just love it. It's like the New Jerusalem. It's the city of brotherly love.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Anyways, but I get that. So it's like, you don't want to label them forever, but at the same time, like, also call their purpose and their function out.
We are leading these kids.
Totally.
You know? Like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
We get to
be responsible for a human being.
Yeah, and just watch it, like, grow and, like, serve the Lord and people.
Yeah.
And, like,
I think it was Melanie who said, like, children are to be unfolded.
Yes. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's such beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really want you to share this dream that you had about creativity.
I will.
Okay.
I just remembered. So I had told James I had this pretty cool experience happen to me, and y'all mentioned this on the podcast, I think once or twice, about a little orb of light.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding?
So I want to say two nights ago, maybe 3, I took my dog Jack, or our dog, mine and Hannah's, you know, to go do the bathroom because I'm in charge of taking them out. And I'm not really like trying to meditate or anything. I'm just there, but I'm open at the same time. And to be honest, I'm listening to Wild Thing by Jimi Hendrix.
And, love me some Jimmy, though.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm blasting, Wild Thing, you make my heart sing, you know, which, you know, I felt like once I started listening to this, I felt like that was the Lord telling me, like, hey, Wild Thing, you make my heart sing.
That's sweet.
And so, I'm just starting to connect, you know, doing my thing with Jack. And then I just look up and very fast, like it was intensely fast. Like I just see this blue and green orb of light just go whoop, 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 just fly.
Are you kidding?
Dude, that's
which
a combo.
I usually see like orbs, because I've seen a couple, but they usually kind of do like this weird arch. But this one just went straight, like had a diagonal straight down, and it was going fast. It's like the fastest one I've seen. It was just like a strobe light just coming in hot.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's literally the combination of James had a blue orb and I saw a green orb.
I didn't even think about that.
That is freaking
it's a combo
crazy.
there, yeah. Like, what's going on?
That's why I said combo.
Interesting.
Huh.
Because I knew y'all talked about it because I'm an avid listener, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about that.
That's flipping
That is
crazy.
so cool.
My mind is blown right now.
I know it.
So
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I needed to share that.
You.
The week that he's coming on the podcast, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. I don't know. I asked. I was like, what is this? I want to see it again.
Yeah. I do too.
I was like, if it's somebody, let me see this thing.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, whatever it means.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love seeing things. I don't care what it is. Honestly.
Oh, yeah. There's just so much value for me of like anything that the Lord has. I want it.
Yeah.
Like, sky's the limit. Whatever it looks like, let's talk, let's communicate.
Yeah.
Well, standing on him as a foundation, it's like, no matter what it is, if you see it, it's like there's gain to be had. So it's like, whatever. I'm open to it. I don't care what it is. Show me Bigfoot.
I think what's so cool, though, is that the Lord is not so concerned in the moment of us actually having to have understanding. It's like, this is a leading that he leads us into. And so there may be things that we don't understand.
Yeah.
for even a period of time, but we will come to know it.
Yeah.
Little nuggets.
Definitely.
They're all little nuggets, and they'll eventually build on each other.
They will.
It keeps that curiosity there, that wonder.
The total wonder.
And they will unravel. Yeah.
The mystery.
Definitely.
So I guess good segue.
Well,
speaking of mystery.
Yeah.
Mysteries.
Mystery and unraveling. Alan?
Wanting for me to talk about my dream?
Yeah. How did you unravel into who you are?
Let's go to this. What was the first experience that you had that you vividly remember that you're like, man, that thing marked me?
That's pretty easy. I want to say I was 13, in which for the longest time, my dad had a guitar in his closet, and I would pull it out almost every night, and I didn't know how to play it, so I thought you just hit the little turning knobs, and that's how you make the different pitches and stuff. So I'll just turn them until I pop the strings, and I'm like, dang it.
That's so sweet, though.
Yeah. So I'll just play until I pop the strings, and then finally I just broke all the strings because my dad, didn't play anymore. He kind of got burnt out, because he would play, do his thing, but his dad would want him to play. Back then, my grandpa liked to drink a lot and stuff, and so he would make my dad play for them to get drunk, and my dad got burnt.
Oh man.
Which I totally get that.
Yeah.
So anyways, he left it in the closet. I found it, and then for the longest time I was like, hey, I want a guitar. I want to learn how to play. Finally, after me being so persistent, age 13, I get one Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and I'm so excited that I get this guitar, and I fall asleep, long story short, end up having a dream that night where it's so clear, where I'm in outer space and I can see all the stars, I can see the Milky Way, I can just see it all. It's just so clear, and it's almost like I have an infinite amount of vision. And I turn around and, I'm floating in space, kind of tripping out about it, for a 13-year-old. And I see this man behind me, and I'm like, is this who I think it is? And this guy has the exact same guitar. It's black and white. I think it was a Starcaster, guitar you get from Walmart. He has that exact same guitar, and he says, hey, come here, I want you to play for me. And I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. I felt no fear. I didn't feel shame. I didn't feel nothing. If anything, I was so excited. I was like, you want me to play for you? And, he's like, yeah, come on. So I grabbed the guitar, and I'm talking to him to like a normal person. I'm like, well, I only know the C and the G chord. I don't really know nothing else. He's like, I don't care. Just play for me. It's like, all right. And I strummed them chords for a while. And I had never seen anybody as happy as the Lord, and that's when it clicked for me. I was like, oh, this is God. This is Jesus. And he wants me to play for him. So I'm playing, and he's just smiling, all the way up.
That's incredible.
And I finished playing, and he grabs me on the hand, and he's like, do you see all this? And he waves his hand, at all the stars and galaxies, everything that you can see, planets. And I'm like, yeah. This is yours to have, that's what he tells me. And I'm like, what? As a 13-year-old, I'm like, I own space. This is awesome. I didn't really have much of a grid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is sweet. Heck yeah. Imagine all the things I can do here. This is what I'm starting to think. And then he swoops me down. The dream doesn't end there. He swoops me down, and we're flying, back into Earth, and we fall into the ocean. And it's the complete same thing. I'm staring at all this water, all the coral reefs, all the amount of fish that's out there, all the life. And he tells me the same thing. Play, I play. He's smiling, genuine smile. And he, waves his hand again. He's like, do you see all this? I'm like, yeah, this is yours to have. And I'm like, okay. Heck yeah. And so I wake out of that dream, and I'm lit up. It's probably 6 a.m. We stayed up late, trying to open up all these Christmas presents. And I just run into my parents' room. I'm like, Mom, Dad, I know what I'm supposed to do in life. And they're like, "Okay, what is it?" And they're just, like, so groggy, like, "Oh my gosh, here we go again." I'm like, "I'm supposed to be a rock star."
Heck yeah, though.
Yeah. Wow.
Which, in a way that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Not maybe in the what I thought as a 13-year-old.
Not in the worldly
Mm.
sense.
Yeah, not in the worldly sense, but
That's the
that
direction, though, and he was right there.
that projected my life like no other. It
Mm.
shot me forward. I'm like, "I knew you were real." Like, I always believed it,
Mm,
and I knew there was more. I grew up in a Christian home and all that, but I always felt like there was just more than
yeah.
what I was getting or that I could understand, 'cause
Mhm.
I didn't really understand that much. And, to have that, I was, like, on fire.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that was probably the main one that did it for me.
It's amazing.
Would you say that playing your guitar is your favorite way to engage? Like, or is that like a special place that you connect to the Lord in?
Definitely very special, very intimate. Definitely my favorite way for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Playing guitar, I've I've throughout my life has been such a tremendous thing for me to just express myself,
Mm-hmm.
because long story short, as a kid I was just super hyper.
Mhm.
And so I just did everything, and they diagnosed me with ADHD, whatever.
Mm.
And so I ended up getting on like some medication. I don't even remember the name it was, maybe Adderall.
To calm you down?
Yeah, to kind of balance me out.
Okay.
Well, I instantly thought that as like, oh, there's something wrong with me. I
Mhm.
shouldn't have this amount of energy or bouncing off the walls, which, there's probably some practical things, maybe not, stop eating ice cream.
There's that.
you know,
Yeah.
but, I was just super hyper. I had a
Mm.
lot of energy. I can go on for days. But, so I got on this medication. Probably about middle school, it hit me. Like, I was kinda, like, mummified. Kinda lost a lot of that passion, that
Mm.
joy, and some of it was there, but, I just kinda started isolating myself.
More muted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely felt like,
Capped.
yeah, like, obviously, there's something wrong with me, let me just try to conform.
Mm.
And it was nobody's fault, not blaming my
Sure.
parents. This is just, it was the enemy,
Yeah.
trying to shut me down,
Yeah.
which is why the Lord gave me that dream, like, "Hey, like, focus on me. Like, I
Yeah.
just want you to
Remember who
I
you
just
are.
want you to play."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Like,
he give you that dream before the
all of that,
medicine? Yeah,
yeah.
so that's something you could hold on to, I
Yeah.
guess.
In which, as a 13-year-old, you kinda leave it in the back burner for a minute,
Sure.
And which I didn't write that dream down for the longest time
Yeah.
It was just
until
so like a
But
part
it
of
was
you.
in
yeah, it
you.
was just ingrained in me. And to be honest, like, I played for a year. I realized I wasn't getting any better, or at least I wasn't progressing in how I wanted to progress, and I was getting frustrated at it. So I did what my dad did. I threw that guitar in the closet for about
Mm.
another year. Didn't mess with it. I didn't wanna look at it because I was so frustrated at it. Then finally, I felt the Lord like, "Hey, remember that guitar? Remember that dream? You should try it again." I was like, "Okay."
Mm.
But it was completely different, like, all my expectations, all, like, what I thought playing the guitar would get me, like, friends, popularity,
Mm.
all
Yeah.
that, because you're in middle school, going to high school, you're like, this is what you do, you put on a show,
Sure.
you know? And all that was gone, like, I just genuinely loved connecting to the Lord, and that was just the one way I knew how at that time because
Mhm.
of the medication and, like, feeling like I couldn't express myself
Mhm.
fully, you know? And I can go even further on, like, high school happens.
Yeah.
We'll fast forward to, like, end of junior into senior year. My dad gets diagnosed with cancer,
Hmm.
has, like, this weird infection in the blood, and it's kinda, like, eating him alive in a way,
Hmm.
and it was, like, 50-50 chance living or dying. And so, difficult time, but something within me, like, I just always knew, I was like, "We're gonna get through this."
Mm.
Like, there was just
Mhm.
something always, like, positive And, playing the guitar in that really tough situation as a kid, I guess now teen, growing up, I'll just play my guitar every single night, and I would stay up all night, early in the morning, just playing, connecting to the Lord. It was really how I prayed, playing the
Mm.
guitar, to be honest. That was my way
Yeah.
of praying.
It is your way of
That's
praying.
amazing. Yeah.
And sometimes I'd speak, sometimes I wouldn't, sometimes I'd sing. Most of the time, it was just me. To be honest, what we're doing right now, I'd turn off the lights,
Yeah.
and I'd close my eyes, and I'd just play. Like, there was no expectation. I'm not trying to learn a chord. I'm not trying to learn a riff. I'm just doing what the Lord told me to do,
That's so
to
sweet.
play. And through that, I honestly believe that's what kept me so positive, like connected with the Lord. Like, hey, I had the higher view,
Yeah.
because I chose the Lord instead of the current situation,
Yeah.
which, I can go super even more deep if tell me if I need to stop or
You
whatever.
don't have to stop.
Oh
Okay.
no, it's your
No,
show. We're
yeah.
just
No reins here. You're free.
Yeah, man.
Like, so in that time where my dad had cancer, um, you know, uh, my mom was the only source of income because my dad had to stop working.
Mhm.
And one day, my mom, because she was a janitor at the high school that I also went to, and it was a love-hate relationship with that. But anyways, now I reminisce, and I'm like,
Because you were a student there and your
yeah,
mom.
and I'm like,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, man, mom, come on, I don't want people to know you're here, man. I'm trying to talk to this girl, and you're trying to like,
She's always watching you.
yeah,
For
you're just
real.
watching me.
Got them eyes.
Yeah, she definitely kept me locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely kept an eye on me, which was a good thing.
That's sweet.
Definitely a good thing in the long run. And looking back, I'm like so thankful for that now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyways, so my mom, she works at the high school, Lindo High School, and she gets like a phone call. They call her to the office, and they they're like, "Hey, there's this person that wants to talk to you." My mom's like, "Okay," and they tell her, "Hey, can you meet me at this random place at this time?" And mom's like, kind of sketched, like, "I don't know who you are. Why do you want me to meet you here?" But she went anyways, and she goes, she meets a stranger. She comes back and she tells me, oh, and again, this is Christmas time, oddly enough.
Did a lot of these events, like your dream and all that all happened around Christmas time?
Yeah, a lot of it did happen around like end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, Christmas. A lot of it did happen around that time. And I guess I'm backing up a little bit. I felt led to put up Christmas lights in the Christmas tree before my mom met this person. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna start decorating. I just felt led. So I did it. My mom sees all it. She comes home from work and she's like, oh, hey, mijo, because she's from Mexico. I don't think this is a good time to do this. We're struggling. We can't afford a lot of this stuff. And you're just adding to the electricity bill. I think you should put it down.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell her, I was like, hey, can we just keep it up for a couple of days? Like, I want to feel happy. I want all of us to feel happy. She's like, okay, just a couple days, and then we'll have to take them down. And so I'm kind of getting teared up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And anyways, so she meets this guy. She comes back, and she starts crying. She's yelling, Alan, you're not gonna believe it. And I'm like, okay, what is it? The Lord blessed us. Apparently, this person, this man, knew what we were going through and gave us a bunch of food and clothes.
Oh.
Wow, dude.
And like, what was crazy, like the clothes were our exact same size. The shoes were like my size, my brother's size. Like, it was all perfect.
That's incredible.
And
Wow.
it was like, this is the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
It was so sweet.
Dude, I feel that so strong that he values the toughest situations and the best situations.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it doesn't matter what it is, he will always see it through. It's like he's always going to come through. And you followed the voice of the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You followed it by putting things up that paved the way for your mom's faith to even expand.
Yeah.
That is incredible, man.
Yeah. You literally brought light to that situation.
Yeah.
Just despite what's going on.
Yeah.
And I helped your dad move a refrigerator a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, he's
It's
healthy.
like your dad's fine and healthy now, and it's like
lost weight.
Yeah.
Looking like a stud.
Yeah.
That's incredible,
That is
man.
incredible.
Cancer free.
Mm.
I love that. It's so sweet. It's so sweet that the Lord is so relentless in coming after stuff, and relentless being like, hey, I want to over and abundantly bless you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, not like, oh, I'm going to come, we've got to deal with these things, or like,
no.
It's like, no, dude, I am going to abundantly bless you at every turn.
Yeah.
The only thing you have to do is yield.
Yeah.
Like, connect to my voice.
Yeah.
Connect to me. You know, when I was thinking about creativity, and just because I feel like you embody that, like your person, Alan. But I asked the Lord, I said, what is creativity? And he said, anything that you do in connection with me, because I am the creator. And I was like, that is so profound to me, because I think that we can think of creativity as like the arts, you know, like I'm the painter, or a musician or whatever. But you connected to the Lord in setting up a Christmas tree. That in and of itself was creativity and bringing light into things.
Yeah.
That is what that is. It's like whatever you connect to the Lord with and let it come out is you being creative on the earth.
Your very being and the way that you do things is creative.
Yeah.
Just operating what you were created to be. Anything that you touch is creative. It's creative. It has a creative aspect to it. And what you said earlier, your connection with him and just you playing the guitar, like you said, that's the way that you pray.
Yeah.
That is absolutely beautiful and such a pure form of creativity, in contrast to what you mentioned about, you know, being a rock star. It's like, I want to impress people. I want people to like me. It's like, no, you were in there like by yourself with the lights off.
Yeah.
Just in that, you know, that's what creativity is. Yeah. That's beautiful. You're an example of what healthy creativity looks like.
I also, man, I love Google, but Google's definition of what creative is, it means, so being creative means solving a problem in a new way, and it means changing your perspective. And I loved that because it's like, just your stories. I so value your stories and just the things that the Lord has brought you through, and like the rocks that he's put within you.
Yeah.
Because I think the rocks that are put within us cause our creativity to come out even more, you know? But I love that, like connecting for you, Alan, playing the guitar is like, no, you actually change perspective. Like not only your own perspective, like you being able to connect to him, but you can change the perspective of others.
Yeah.
And it's like when you really flow in your creative vibe, and really I think it's your true person, you actually can help change people's perspectives.
Yeah. Well,
you actually can allow them to awaken.
Yeah. You invite people into it. And they're like you just said, they're allowed the opportunity to enter into that and to feel it.
Oh, yeah. And deeply connect.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of want to go back to what you were saying, Alan, about connecting to the Lord, like not praying per se, like with words, but connecting into the music. Because I love that people really value prayer. But I think that we have misconstrued what prayer is at times. And so I kind of want to lay this just going forward, and because we are going to have Alan play, which I'm so pumped of. I hope everybody, you can skip most of this, hear Alan's story, and then skip to the music.
Yeah.
You can ignore what James and I are talking about, but praying is actually connecting to the things that inspire you with God. And it's knowing that like you're already in his presence. And so you can clear your mind knowing that your dad's already with you. And it's really making space for him. It's just making space for him to come and invade. And I think like instrumental music is a great tool of doing that. If it's good instrumental music. Okay, that's my personal opinion there. But it's like letting, I don't know, when you play for me, Alan, not that you play for me. Alan, when you play for me, what happens is I can feel me get sucked into like a wave.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens, it's almost every time I feel lighter. My person feels lighter, and I'm like, I can feel the Lord.
Yeah.
And I start to get inspired. When I hear you play, I get inspired. And it could be like anything. I could be inspired to play something behind you, or if I'm just listening to you play, I get inspired about another idea, or I feel more of the Lord's presence. Like sometimes I'll feel him like walk in next to me and like sit down. It's like there's a plethora of things.
Yeah.
But it's being able to connect in that and knowing like that you're completely connected, and what you're offering up is like, whoa, that's actually the Lord.
Yeah.
What you're ushering in is actually the presence of the Lord through sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you hear like stories. I always say we're going to talk about this. You hear all these like ayahuasca trips and ceremonies, the mushrooms, but all these people, all the drugs, all the people, like they all have a similar experience of like, oh, myself, my ego fell off, and it propelled me into something else. But it's like that with music.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can feel that when you play. It's as if everything kind of falls off, and I can see in the spirit. I can see for people, and that destiny that's inside of me that I feel.
Yeah,
like it opens it up for me to go into that.
Yeah.
It's, no drugs involved.
No drugs.
But it opens up something.
All natural.
It totally sets the stage for people to connect, But I do also feel like you usher in the sounds of heaven. Like things that are actually being played up there around us, really. Like you catch them and you throw them into this realm.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, people can grab onto it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the creativity thing. I'm stuck on that. Like creativity is very meaningful to me, and I see so many people who they operate in it, but it is to please somebody else or for attention.
Yeah.
But you can see the aspect of it. They have it, and so it's just it's good that you freely express it in the pure way, because it is a beacon to other people.
Yeah.
And I think the more of us that operate in that pure creativity, that kind of spend time with the Lord and go into that destiny and be like, okay, this is who I am, regardless of what anybody thinks about it. I'm just going to operate in it.
Yeah.
Then with that being the pure intent and focus on it is just connection with the Lord, and just sitting in that joy, and that love and that happiness and that rush that will attract people to it. That's a byproduct, and connect them to it, and then they will operate in it.
Yeah.
It's that pure intent and focus that changes the world.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it draws other people out into their own creativity. Like, I think it inspires others to step out into the very things that the Lord has already put within their heart.
Yeah.
I think about just us starting this podcast, right? Like within a week, there was somebody that was already like, man, I can't believe that y'all did that. Like, I want to do that.
Yes.
And like it took them into it. That's like, man, when you just step out in what you feel that the Lord is leading you into, it will draw other people into activating, into like moving forward.
It's attractive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it totally is. It's contagious.
Yeah.
It's truly contagious. I think one of my favorite things for me, one of my favorite ways is creative through music. Like, I love music. I love that music can change the atmosphere that you're in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you walk into any place and it's got like crummy music or like hard music, you're like, oh, I feel a little agitated. But if you come into a place that it's like, oh, wow, this is light.
Yeah.
It causes you just to want to be light.
Yeah.
It changes everything.
It does.
But that's what I like about just even our worship.
Yeah.
It's like we could be playing a myriad of, that's not even a word.
It is.
Okay.
It's a word.
I was thinking mermaid for half a second.
I mean, mermaid is a word too.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't, wrong context, I think.
When we play mermaids.
When we play mermaids. No, there's like it doesn't matter what our vibe is, you feel the Lord in it. Like when everybody connects into their true sound, you just feel the Lord. whether it's vocals or, there's just so much freedom in it.
Yeah, you can feel the difference when somebody's trying to put on a show.
Oh, yeah.
If it's performance or for attention, whatever the reason is, you can definitely feel what they're wanting. You know what I mean? But you can also feel even more, I feel like, when somebody's being pure and just letting themselves go and just letting it happen.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say that.
I mean, how many times, like during worship, when we all let go, everybody starts seeing the same things too.
Yeah.
It's
that
like you're
has happened
releasing
a
and you're
lot.
seeing it. It's like a connection. There's a connective aspect to it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I like that. What you just said is that I feel like anything creative forces you to let go.
Yeah.
Like the creative aspect, to be pure in it, is to let go. And I think most of all is letting go of the fear of man. What is others going to think of me? What is this thing going to look like?
Yeah.
It's like release control and just let your innermost being flow out.
Yeah.
Control, comparison.
Yeah, but connect to the real thing.
Yeah.
Which I believe is the Lord.
Which all of that is connecting into that, what people would say, the secret place. You know, when it's just you and the Lord, like, what are you doing? Are you just trying to do your Hyundai Shundai?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you just letting yourself go? Just, Lord, here I am, whatever you like to say.
But I think it's I love that. It's not stepping in, doing the Hyundai Shundai, meaning, Lord, am I approved by you?
Yeah.
But it's stepping in knowing
in alignment.
I am loved in this moment.
Yeah.
And
you're more than approved.
You're more than approved. You know that when you're loved, it's out of that. When you know that you're loved, the full creative expression can flow out.
Yeah.
Your true color can be released.
Yeah. You're responding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like that secret place, like he's always there with me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not alone in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when cheering
that develops,
yeah, which that was a huge thing in my life, feeling alone, or like, who am I, to do all these things, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, why the Lord gave me that dream with among a bunch of other stuff, in my life, where it's like, hey, you're not alone.
Totally.
Like, just connect with me.
I'm Psalm 91ing you. I'm surrounding you at all times.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, and that doesn't mean like I'm afraid of you. It's like who choose to live by the reality that God is around me at all times.
Yeah.
It's those that are like, no, I am going after the kingdom and will not let anything stay in bondage.
Yeah.
Like I'm going free.
Yeah.
And I'm moving forward.
What kind of dad wants their child to be scared of them?
Totally.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Ones that were in pain. But our dad is not he's not in pain. He's whole.
No.
Oh yeah.
He is love.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literal scripture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God is love. So he's
Absolutely.
not like, he's not a wounded.
Yeah.
He's not a wounded person that is needing us to fix him.
He wants to give us his inheritance.
Yeah.
He does. He's eager to.
Yeah.
Man,
It's
you
his
brought
good
that
pleasure.
scripture. Yeah. Alan just brought that scripture at group. What is it, Luke 12?
Yeah. 32.
Yeah. It's your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom.
Yeah. Like he wants you to take advantage of him.
Think about this.
Yeah.
I love that. The Creator. Okay, so if we were grown up in a religious background, like some of us, you heard the term, like you asked Jesus into your heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you actually think about, well, what does that mean? That means that the Spirit of the living God is within you, who is the Creator, who spoke everything into existence by his very word, and that's living in you. So you actually have massive amounts of unlimited giftings, callings, creativities, well, maybe not callings, but, giftings within you that would express the Creator. You're not limited to one thing. Alan's not limited to only the guitar.
Yeah.
It may be his strongest suit.
Yeah.
The strongest thing that will make the lasting impact, but there's other things that will make lasting impact.
Yeah.
That you can, like, you have the freedom to step into, like you helping James. Like, there's so much within us because the Creator is in us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing is he's waiting for us to let go of control
Yeah.
and be fully free.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
He's sitting there with space, with the oceans. Like, this is all yours. Like,
Yeah.
he's got it. It's right there for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You only know as much as far as you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That
no
makes
limits.
sense.
No, it makes perfect
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
As far as you're willing to as far as you're wanting to go, you can go.
Yeah.
Like, the only people that put the brakes on anything in this life is us.
Yeah.
He's like, it's go time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be that way
Mm-mm.
too.
Mhm.
It's like you can release. You can fully release to the limit that you want, where there
Mhm.
is no limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not stuck with the brakes on.
Yeah.
No, nothing in this life is fixed. The Lord told me that a long time ago, and I was like, that's not true.
Mm.
But he was like, no, nothing in this life is a fixed position.
Right.
Anything can move at any time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's really hinged on your belief.
Yeah.
He told me that the other day. He said, I didn't withhold anything from you.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking to me, and it didn't feel harsh, but he said, it's in your inability to receive this
Mm-hmm.
that has put the limit. Because I think the religious mind is like, well, Lord, I can't receive everything from you.
Yeah.
And I knew he was breaking that off of me, just that religious mentality. And he's like, no, receive it.
Mhm.
Receive it. It
Yeah.
is my good pleasure to give this, so you can.
Yeah.
You can fully take it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Beautiful. That's the opposite of the religious system of he paid for you for your salvation.
Yeah, because you're a worthless
Because
sinner.
you're a worthless, dirty sinner, but you'll never measure up. That's one thing that's like, you will
Yes.
never measure up to his expectations. But he saved you as long as you choose him. It keeps you in this hamster wheel, and I think we've talked about this before.
I
But
say
the
we keep
opposite,
hitting
the
it.
opposite of it is there is no limit. There is no limit, and he wants you to fully accept what he has for you.
Yeah. Because you're not
Open arms.
worthless.
Absolutely, you're not worthless.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
You can sit in that for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just true though. Think about him that way.
Mm-hmm.
He wants all shame, all pain. Like, he wants it all. Anything that's not of him, he wants it gone.
Yeah,
Because that was the only thing that entered in through the fall.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like when Adam ate and Eve,
yeah,
it was shame.
Yeah.
It was shame. It was feeling like you had to hide. You had to cover yourself. You had to defend yourself. You had to be on defense.
Like,
Yeah.
where'd that come from? Who
Mhm.
told you that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oldest trick in the book
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
is to make you think that you're not already like him, or
Mhm.
that you're not with him. You know,
Yeah.
it's like false. You are. You're his son. You're his daughter.
And it's as easy as changing your mind about it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's as like things can snap back so fast. All you have to do is connect.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
And, just a side note, like, when those things do come up, when you do feel those things, like, don't be discouraged by it. Like, there's nothing wrong with you,
Yeah.
at the same time.
Totally.
Once again, no guilt, no
Y-
shame, like you
yeah.
said.
Yeah, it's just, if anything, like, be encouraged by that, because that just means it's an opportunity for
Yeah.
growth. It's like, oh,
More.
yeah, there's something for me to learn here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, heck yeah. And the Lord's with me, and he's going to guide me.
Well,
Let's go.
the reason I believe that things come up, you feel shame, you feel anxiety, you feel these things, is because the Lord is close.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, this isn't me. You don't have to keep carrying this heavy weight.
Yeah.
And so it kind of gets pushed out so you can let it go.
Yeah.
You can release it. But I don't think until you can feel it can you release it.
Yeah.
But it's because light has already come in and he's already there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's connecting to him like, Lord, thank you that this is not what you paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
you paid for me not to have this is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. And that, I release it.
Yeah. And I think that's what thankfulness is.
Mm.
It's not like just saying it, but it's like really feeling like every single thing that comes up is pure opportunity for us to be intertwined. It's more growth. It's that limitlessness.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what thankfulness is. It's just like no matter what, we're more than conquerors. We've already won. We're just stepping into it.
Oh, yeah.
What?
So I want to hit this real quick, and then I'd really like for Alan to play for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of set the stage of what Alan's about to do. He's about to play God's music, and it's not country.
Gospel music.
Gospel music. Did you know that gospel and I'm pretty sure Melanie said that
Yeah.
gospel and country music basically have like the
And
same,
one and the same.
yeah, like same rhythm,
Have the same twang.
rhythm patterns.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's probably why I dislike both.
Everybody bashes on the country and gospel.
Well,
Oh, it's funny. I don't like it.
all
Sorry.
right.
Go ahead.
My opinions have definitely seeped into this one.
Sorry.
But no, so what we're going to do is Alan's literally just going to play the guitar. And I encourage y'all to just clear your mind. Like, not try to think through things or even pray. Like, just connect to the music and feel what comes out of you. You may feel very inspired. You may feel excited.
Mm-hmm.
You may feel like there's people surrounding you. You may start to see things in your mind. And I encourage you, that is not your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you sense or feel or whatever, maybe at the end of it, write it down. Write it down and watch what the Lord will pull out of it.
Yeah.
Because it's extremely profound.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to sing. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to sing a word to worship. You actually can just connect to what's happening.
Yeah.
Musically.
Yeah. Just kind of release and allow it and then watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, just let it go.
Yeah, and just see what happens.